Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show since 1999. 100% girlfriend free since 1999. You're watching Radio Free Cybertron. For the latest Transformer news, reviews, and more, visit tformers.com.
This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 361. I am your host, Brian Kilby. I've been your host and friend now for going on 15 years. And actually on a regular basis since our return-iversary. Our return-iversary is in June, because we had a hiatus. Actually started, it's like a month away. It's like a month and a half away now. We will have been back every week, except for a couple, since mid-June of 2009. That was all, of course, thanks to JD. I've mentioned that, and our friend JD Church, we lost him back in February. So I think that the return-iversary show is going to be that JD tribute show. We did one on Superhero Time, but we haven't done one, an official one yet for RFC. So I think our mid-June show is going to be the JD tribute show. I was thinking about that today, and I really think it's time for that. So hopefully, between now and then, I'll be able to compile all of the best JD moments throughout RFC, and maybe even Fanboy Versus. So if you have a favorite moment from JD that you specifically want me to put in the show, or any specific JD story that you want me to talk about, tweet me or tweet us. I'm at bkilby or at tfradio on Twitter, or you can shoot us an email, contact@tfradio.net. There are lots of ways for you to reach out to us. Please do so, because that's going to be awesome. We miss JD, and he's left a big hole, no joke intended, in our lives and, in our hearts, and, tfradio.net/JD. On the show this week, we have Melvar, Bob Saget, host, I guess you're host of, NPR and the Turtle Lair podcast.
Yep, I am.
And two great shows also on the network. We also have Diecast, Don, who is now splitting his time between Radio Free Cybertron and TFYLP. He is now...
Traitor!
He is now...
There's now more of me to love everywhere.
Is that official? Is that official yet? Have I,
they just asked me last week, and I said, sure. So I don't know. I haven't talked to Weird Wolf since, but I'll be on there at least on a semi-regular basis. So
next show is about Victory, or are you guys waiting a little while to get to Victory?
I'm not sure. I think that's like a show or two away.
Okay. They've been doing a retrospective on the Japanese G1 series, and they've done Headmasters. They did Master Force last week.
Oh, yes.
I haven't got. I started listening. I ended up getting. I was still in the news when I stopped. I had to go to bed, but I'm going to finish listening to that tomorrow. I really enjoy that show, and I like those guys. So,
and one of the guys pulls out Black Zarek, and it's like I can't beat that. I've got Grand Maximus, yes, but I don't have Black Zarek.
Most people don't have him. Most people don't have him in one piece. And also on the show this week, we have Hey Mickey from Superhero Time.
Hey,
Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Now 100% tornado free.
Yeah,
and video free as well.
Well, only for a little bit. It is tornado season.
Yes, fantastic.
So is that not like duck or rabbit season? It's tornado season.
Pretty much.
Duck season, rabbit season.
I got there.
Now
the joy is that tornado season ends just before hurricane season starts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mother Nature.
Yeah. So
Stupid planet.
Yeah, the thing it sucks. Like living in North Carolina, and 2.5 of us do that. Don almost does. He's from North Carolina. We have great weather for the most part. It's not like, San Diego like weather, but it's pretty darn good.
It's bipolar weather.
But we don't have to deal with earthquakes, but darn hurricanes, they suck.
Hurricanes and humidity.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like as bad as Florida, but yeah, like there's a good chunk of the year that we just have to worry about hurricanes, but not tornadoes for the most part. So
We didn't used to have to worry about tornadoes just in the past 4 years.
I wonder why.
El Nino.
Yes,
I'll say Bush.
that works.
Sorry, no.
Pick your favorite scapegoat and insert here.
There.
Fort Max.
Megatron. Curse
Megatron.
you.
It's Megatron's master plan.
It really is.
So on the show this week, we have news. We have Q&A with Rob Springer. This week in history, and we should have comic news, which I'm gonna cover my mouth if you're watching the video as I say that, so that I can edit this out. We have comic news on the show this week, tentatively. But before yes, we love comics. Apparently, Amy wanted me to mention this. I'm assuming that if she's on the comic segment, she'll mention this as well. But Free Comic Book Day is it this weekend, Ronnie?
It's this Saturday, yeah.
And
every comic book shop in America.
Yeah, every good comic book shop anyway. So I think there's a G.I. Joe Transformers. The kickoff of that is part of Free Comic Book Day. Is that right?
Well, those stories are always great.
I believe I believe it's a preview. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris McFeely says it's great. So.
Well, I hope he's right.
Chris
It'd be nice to be surprised.
Well, Chris has a soft spot in his heart for G.I. Joe Transformers team up. So.
Yes, my wife just brought me a monster, so thank you, Kim. I will be enjoying this during the show.
Well, I guess
is this the protein one that you got a case of?
Is it G.I. Joe or Action Force?
No.
Depends on what continent you're on.
I guess, yeah. Actually, that's a good point. Do they edit that for
It may be G.I. Joe now everywhere. I don't know if Action Force is still around.
I thought G.I. Joe wasn't going to be around. So.
Well, in the halls of Hasbro,
yeah. Best attempts.
Yeah. No, in the halls of Hasbro, G.I. Joe is not around. G.I. Joe is whispered amongst those that remain.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Cobra has won.
Hey, are we still making that Terradrome thing? Yeah, that's probably the last thing.
I want that so
totally
bad.
in the works.
I just had this sudden image of Hasbro with bustling full of people, and you see two figures walk up to each other, and they look around and say, "Yo, Joe," and they walk away.
Yeah.
Instead of Hell Hydra, "Yo, Joe."
Yeah, that's probably some truth to that. There are probably two G.I. Joe fans left at Hasbro. Hey, so before we get
left period.
Before we get into This Week in History, Bob/Ronnie has something that he wanted to tell us about at his website, Needless Essentials Online.
That's right. Oh, thanks, Brian. So you guys know it's the 30th anniversary, right?
What of what?
Of this Transformer Dome.
The show
If y'all don't.
The show 227. Or Amen, maybe?
Yeah. Jack A is now 30 years old.
Golden Girls? I'm just spitting out all these NBC shows from the 80s. Go ahead, sorry.
You are spitting out a lot of NBC shows, and you miss Night Court. How can you miss Night Court?
And Amen.
My God. We have one listener left. But no, it's in honor of Transformers' 30th anniversary, the website that I write for occasionally and help run normally. Is doing a top 50 greatest Transformer figures of all time countdown. The main thing is that this countdown comes from you, the fans. So what I need everyone that likes Transformers to go to Needless Essentials Online. You can find the link on the RFC Facebook page. And just in the comments section, type in your top 15, what you think is the greatest figures of all time. The only thing they have to be Hasbro, the Collectors Club, or Takara. They can't be third party, unfortunately.
Cybertron Blur, number 1.
You can just stop right there.
G1 Wheelie.
I like Wheelie, actually, honestly.
I can't wait. I can't wait to find the people that are going to do that and just see. You're like, wait a minute.
So I would actually recommend, this is not my top favorite, of course, but I would actually recommend Sidearm Sideswipe from the movies.
That is a really
Write them
solid
in.
movie
Give it
toy.
out.
Was that the Mech Tech version?
No, it's the one. It's the one with the recolor with the red windows that had the 2 pistols instead of the swords.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And yeah, the really nice looking blue and yellow version in Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, the Walmart version.
Yeah.
I just want Energon Guzzling Swerve. You know, that one variant where it just comes with his own bar.
So basically, we go to the website and we submit our list. So is it an email? What is it?
No, what you do is you just click on the link at RFC, or you go to the Needless Essentials Facebook page, and while you're there, give us a like. Yeah, that's right, it's a cheap plug. But just go to the website itself, click on the article, down in the comments section underneath the article. That's where you give me your top 15.
Okay.
Now, what if there's like repaints of the same toy? Would you as different characters? Are you going by like mold or by character? Like for example,
I'm going by whichever one you think is best.
Okay, because it's like I've got the Cybertron Scattershot, but I like the flak version from the BotCon set better as far as the colors and stuff.
Then put that one down.
Also, okay, so even though cool.
It is. It's based on. It's purely subjective, based on your own opinion on what you think makes the better one. If it's a different color scheme, but it's the same transformation, put the one that you think you prefer.
Cool.
I mean, I can't. You know, the only thing is a lot of people want to put third parties in. I'm just like, I can't do that. It's got to be Hasbro, and we're including Collectors Club. We'll be nice, and we'll do Takara since Takara does have some exclusives that are not available anywhere else.
That's
Like-
true.
Like Senator.
Now, are
Rabbit.
Power Dashers 3 separate toys or just one toy?
I'm including all of the any sort of combiner stuff as one toy.
Oh, that's cheating.
That is absolutely cheating, but
It's not like I would split. It's not like I would split flywheels or like any. Well, there's only 2 Duocons,
You're,
but
you're supposed to split them.
yeah. I don't know. That's awesome.
I think I'll put in Twin Twist.
But yeah, just go to needlessessentialsonline.com, click search for Transformers, or just go to the RFC Facebook page and click on the link. It'll take you there. Just give me your top 15.
Sweet, awesome.
And then come back May 20th for the final results.
So that's 3 weeks from today, basically.
3 weeks.
Awesome. Okay, so this week in history. Technically, this week from when the show will post, May 6th and May 7th, 1999, we got the last 2 episodes of Beast Wars. Nemesis Part 1 and Part 2. We did a Transformers Rewind on this episode, and I'll need to link to it during these episodes. I'll link to it. Just a weird menagerie. Well, it's only 2 parts. It's just this weird collection of like there's a Bob and Larry episode, and then there's a Furman episode. It's the only Furman thing, period, from Beast Wars, at least as far as the TV show goes. There might have been something comic-wise that I'm not thinking of. But it's kind of a downer.
Well, the body count doesn't help. Now, spoilers for a show that's almost 20 years old, but you lose Inferno, Quick Strike.
The hardest loss of all.
Yeah, Inferno, Quick Strike, Tiger Hawk,
Dinobot 2.
Dinobot 2, Ravage.
Did we lose Tarantulas in that episode too, or was that earlier?
Tarantulas. When did Tarantulas bite it?
Yeah, it was the one before, I think, when the Vok blew up his base.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the body count was just like
But the humans survived.
Wiki survived.
Wiki.
Wiki was still mildly more intelligent than Spike Wiki, so
That's true.
cheered for Ugg. Look, it had a high body count, but the ending was almost pitch perfect.
Yeah.
Because Waspinator being like a god made my day.
And it was ruined forever.
It was ruined for who knew what was to follow.
I'm a fan of Beast Machines, and I will still say that kind of ruined it.
Yeah, I think I would enjoy Beast Wars even more than what I do is if Beast Machines just did not exist. I'm sorry. It's just.
If Beast Machines was its own thing and
Yes.
didn't try to be a
Yes.
continuation,
Yes.
then
Agreed
it'd have been
thoroughly.
perfectly fine. It was a good storyline, a good attempt, but too many of these characters wound up being completely different.
If I could separate the two, it would be ideal. I can't. It's not its own separate thing. Yeah, my problem with the ending of Beast Wars is the same thing as my ending with Animated. It ended and I wanted more, and I didn't find the ending as satisfying as it should have been. Animated, they kind of, it ended, but
Animated didn't truly end. It just got cut off.
Yes. Beast Wars, though, it didn't end so much. I mean, it had a pretty final ending. They go back to Cybertron. Everything is hunky-dory. They have Megatron in tow. Or he's tied to...
The ship.
Yeah, the ship. But I just know in my heart that they basically botched that with the first episode of Beast Machines.
Would you say Prime is the best ending we've gotten so far?
Best or most... Well, no. Because they had to have a movie to really...
I don't count the movie.
You don't need the movie, though, for the ending of Prime. Because
Here's the problem I have with Prime. Because of the new show we're getting, Optimus is now Optimus Kenobi.
Yeah.
He sacrifices himself, and then he comes back as a ghost. I can't wait for Bumblebee to go to the Dagobah system.
It's the same. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing though with Beast Wars and Beast Machines. One follows into the other. I can't separate the two, so it's not a fair comparison for me.
Fair
but
enough.
not that I'm a huge fan of Cybertron, but Cybertron probably had the most complete ending.
Still haven't gotten all the way through Cybertron. Energon burned me out so bad.
Well, I will say what helps me with Cybertron is the new footage that they had created that does bring all the characters back at the end, so you do get a little bit of a better feeling this is all one continuity from the U.S. side. I mean, no one loved Kicker, but it was nice to see him back as far as part
No,
of the
it
package.
was not. Kicker
And we got to see Alexis and the kids from Armada. So it's...
Don. Kicker is the worst thing.
I know. I'm just saying, as a package deal, it was nice to see the attempt at continuity.
And so Don and I don't know. I think we pretty much agree, but we don't at the same time. And you'll see what I'm saying. I'm a huge fan of Rebirth. I love Rebirth.
I like it.
I love Rebirth. And I think on its own, it serves as a pretty good ending to the Transformers. Could they have extended it and we got a season 4 with Headmasters and Headmaster RC and all that, yeah. But it works. Golden Age returns, Decepticons, flying off in space, and Scorponok pissed off. The end. I'm good with that.
And then we focus on the Headmasters. We're ready to roll.
Yeah.
I think if David Wise had gotten those other two episodes like he was told originally at 5 instead of 3, I think it would have been a lot paced better. But 3 episodes introduce.
I wanted more because I wanted better fight between Blaster and Soundwave. I'm just saying.
I mean, Rebirth was kind of weird for me because it's like, okay, we're introducing all these characters and now it's over.
So
see, that's what I mean. It was too compressed because of the cutting of 2 episodes.
People listening won't hear me shake my head to M. Bob's comment about Soundwave and Blaster. Sorry, go ahead. I'm listening.
You have not seen it. It is the greatest fight that was
but
not
we're talking, of course, 2 different things. We're talking Rebirth compared to Headmasters, and we both know that's 2 different things.
And everyone knows Master
Rebirth
is better.
The compressed nature of Rebirth did make for at least a couple of memorable things. Like, I think we're all pretty much sold about Six Shot based on his one appearance on Rebirth. I mean, that doesn't get more memorable.
It's amazing. That sequence is just completely badass.
And then
it's a toy. It's a 15-second toy commercial.
It is.
And then the punch counter punch. Fine, you deal with my Autobot counterpart.
I hear he's nearby. real nearby. Yeah.
Like, you don't get what just...
I love Rebirth. I recognize it's awful, but I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the news, because we have completely derailed. So this week, I got an email.
You had rails?
Yeah, we had rails. Supposedly. I got an email, and I guess every member of the club, or every person at least who has a subscription to the Figure Service 2.0 got their shipping estimate. So basically, what we found out, the first wave of figures, or maybe all the figures, I'm assuming it's the first wave of figures, because I think they're getting these piecemeal, are being shipped from the factory. They should have them ready to go in, was it June? I'm not reading the article, I'm going by memory.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
We don't know what it is.
Yeah, it is about June.
But I'm looking forward to it because the set looks killer.
First thing I thought when I got this email was, A, why did I get this email? Did they take my money? and then second was, I had no idea. Like, I wasn't keeping track of when they were supposed to ship because I didn't sign up for them. So I was like, I wonder if that's news. Is this late like it was for 1.0? I mean, 1.0
I think
was
1.0 seemed like way
months late.
later.
Look, I think the rule of thumb is believe it when you got it in your hand. When it's sitting in a box on your actual like front stoop.
Well, I got the best one from Wave 1. I'm sorry. I got the best one.
It's a great toy.
Yes.
It's got a great name.
It has the best
I
name.
love pun names.
So, I posted the next item in the news, and I'll be completely honest. I'm not really up so much on what's going on in the Transformers universe because I am not in yet. Is anybody beta in that yet?
No.
So they're basically, I don't want to say pay for play because that's not the right way of putting it.
I think it is.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
So basically they have two, is that price right? Between $44.99 and $449
180 days.
Yeah, and $449.99 for the Cybernet, which I'm assuming is a conflation of
6
Cybertron
months
and
to
Infinite.
a year, they'll be free to play.
Yeah, to basically play. Go to tformers.com. Maybe this will make more sense to everybody else, but it looks like is this going to give you early access to play if you pay up front now?
It doesn't even look like early access. It just looks like they're going to give you some special characters. You're going to get like 6 special characters. I have no idea what else it's going to give you, but I like someone's comment on tformers.com. It's like, this game was supposed to be free to play, and now they're going to charge us. So
a friend of mine, Megatron33, who has been on RFC before, but it was like 12 years ago, got into the beta today or earlier this week, and I really haven't had a chance to. He hasn't had a chance to play yet, so I don't really know much about the game. I thought when at BotCon 2012, when we signed up for the when we reserved our character, that meant that we would get earlier access to this, and I have no. They've been working on this for a while, for a long time.
I heard about this I think I heard about it at least 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while. I mean,
been 4.
Long time.
Probably at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I still can't play it. I want to play it. I really do.
I don't want to pay $44 to play it.
No.
Me neither.
And that's only for 3 months, so if you don't play,
That's a third-party subscription to the Collectors Club. Think this through.
I reserved Billy. So my Transformers character's name is Billy. So for the perpetuity of time, Billy will be me. So whenever I'm able to play, it will be as Billy.
No, because they probably threw out all that stuff.
If I remember correctly, I'm going to spoil something. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to say it here. So if I remember correctly, John DeLuna got new Soundwave, which is awesome. But XV reserved. Mike's going to hate me for saying this. He reserved TFG1 Mike. That probably wasn't the best thing for Jagex to let us do. I think I went back through and reserved someone else's screen name just to be a jerk. So we love
Brian,
you, Mike.
I'm gonna have to join now just so I can play with you and just be like, Billy, don't be a hero.
Yes.
I would want Steve. Steve would be a good one.
Well, no. So Billy is the name of Blaster in Headmasters. If you didn't know, so in the dub,
really?
the Headmasters dub, Billy is what they call Blaster, instead of broadcast. Instead of calling Blur, he's Wally. So and Soundwave is there's Soundwave, and Sound Blaster is of course New Soundwave. So.
That is why I will not watch those.
I can't believe you guys haven't watched Melvar. You've watched these.
Oh
yes, yeah. Mickey.
Billy, eject,
I have not watched
Roger,
it, but I know
Strong,
of them.
Steve.
I've watched them all. I love them all. But yeah, so Billy is Blaster. So my character, Billy.
The rerun was like what? Reggie?
No.
Eject was Edward.
Oh God, I forgot what.
Steeljaw was Steven.
For the most part, most of the characters had their names. Spike though was Sparkle.
That's pretty close.
It's
That's
close.
the greatest ever. I want that for now. I want a Sparkle Witwicky. Now,
But yeah, so pretty cool.
bring back Shia LaBeouf. Give him that name.
Yeah. So we got a photo this week of the I guess it's the package, but it's really just like a pouch of 46-piece Dinobot ride set, which is Optimus Prime and Grimlock, the Creon kit. It looks pretty amazing.
Why is everybody so gaga over this?
Are you looking at it right now, Don? That's
yes,
why.
it's just another Creo set.
It's Optimus Prime riding Grimlock.
For 30 years.
We'll see in the movie.
For 30 years, people have wanted Optimus to just saddle up Grimlock and go to town. And now we're getting that.
It's pretty great.
Or at least I did, and I'm a weird child.
All this set does to me is irritate me. I don't have G1 Creons of the Dinobots on my shelf.
Are we going to be actually able to get this in the store, or is this something that we're going to have to hunt down?
Do you ever get Transformers in the stores?
Depends on the store.
To the Pineville Toys R Us.
I mean, this does look like, the same type of Lego bag that you would get. It's probably like $5.
Find it on the register next to the candy.
Yeah. But I really hope that Toys R Us picks this up and we see
It's gonna be right next to the MP10 that they released and the Starscream nobody wants.
I mean, I know tomorrow I'm going there for the Lego Simpsons figures, so I'm going to try my luck at filling up blind bags.
Are those getting released tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yep, May 1st.
Oh,
Was there a release date of those?
May 1st.
I don't even watch Simpsons,
whoops.
and I want them Legos.
Walmart messed up then because I got mine like a week ago.
So I just want to point out that the Age of Extinction toy launch is Ender's 10th wedding anniversary. I bet Ender's wife is going to be excited waiting in line at Walmart to buy Age of Extinction toys.
Bring a book, Ender's wife.
Take her someplace nice, Ender.
Yes, take her to the Chili's.
Take her to Chili's after.
How romantic.
No.
Hey, it's a proven fact. There's a Chili's at least 5 miles away from any Walmart ever.
Not mine.
Okay, 10 miles for Brian. Brian, why be such a contrarian?
Take her someplace where there's no prices on the menu.
Oh. Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
That's terrible advice.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
That's like saying go to a place where you can't pronounce what's on the menu. Which for me is McDonald's.
What's that, a Mick what?
What? So you just put Mick in front of everything? You can't do that.
So
go Taco Bell and order some large fajitas.
Like my friend Ricky, we were talking before the show about Ric Flair stories. My friend Ricky and Jem. Jem was the one in the pre-show that I mentioned that had wrestled Bobby Eaton. They both worked at the Subway here in town. And
Bob Eaton worked at Subway?
No, my friend Jim.
That's amazing.
Who wrestled Bob Eaton.
That's less
But
amazing.
they would say that people would always come in and want chipotle sauce on their sandwiches, and yeah, it's pretty bad. So
I'd love for them to go to the Chipotle Grill.
we have more news on MP22, which is Ultra Magnus. We know what's going to come with the toy now. We have a little more details. So it includes with Ultra Magnus, an additional face, a weapon, a Daniel figure, a Spike figure, fists, a manual, and you don't have to remove the cabin vehicle mode to transform.
I can't wait to see. It better be better than the Titanium series.
Yeah.
How can you get better than that?
I have a feeling.
Can't beat
Easily.
this.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Energon
You can
one
beat it
is
with a
better than the
stick.
Titanium series.
Well, let me ask y'all this: I've looked at this great prototype for the last few days. I can't tell. Does the cab not have a robot mode, or is it just the grayscale plastic is hiding all the seams?
Well, it says that it's a totally new mold, so which surprises me because I just assumed that it was MP10.
That's what we all
Everyone
thought.
did.
I mean,
Yeah, we all thought until we saw clearer pictures.
I'm actually going to be a little bit disappointed if I can't take the white cab itself and just make it a little tiny robot.
You're probably the only one.
Yeah.
No, I totally wanted a white Prime with armor.
I hate. God, I fluctuate back and forth. I waffle on whether I'm a toy person or a show person, just depending on the situation.
It's going to be the new fandom fight coming up. It just, do we part form out the Masterpiece Magnus, or do we make them one solid piece? Which is better?
That's probably true.
Yeah, I just couldn't tell myself if there was a robot mode to that cab or not.
Apparently
I don't
not.
think there is.
I mean,
Sorry, Don.
KFC already did the all-in-one combined thing, so I was kind of okay with this not being an all-in-one combined. Just to be different.
Yeah.
And then just as a PSA also, this is actually, as of right now, available for pre-order at HobbyLinkJapan.com.
I thought it sold out, so it brought it back.
No, I checked before the show, and it is still available on pre-order at HLJ.
Great.
By the
For
time
a
you
significantly
post it-
discounted price.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's about 141 plus shipping.
Very nice. That's great.
Now the
So.
shipping is going to add to it some, but it's still a good chance it'll be cheaper than.
How is HLJ with fulfilling Transformer orders? Because when it comes to Toku stuff, they're not exactly reliable.
I've never had a problem.
I've gotten all
Okay.
three of my Dotson brothers from them, and other than, yeah, I didn't have a PayPal billing agreement set up, so I had to make a separate step to pay for the shipping instead of the way I had it set up before. But other than an extra step, that was my fault. I've had no problems getting the stuff fulfilled. The only thing is, some of my EMS stuff, that by the time the tracking gets in the system on their end, it's here. Or at least within a day or so of arriving. So,
But there's not as much issues of saying them taking a pre-order that it never shows up.
oh, I've not had that on any of the Dotson brothers at all. So that's why I have my pre-order in there.
So I guess that's just more of a Toku problem then.
Yes.
Sounds that way. So, next up, Masterpiece Prowl and Grimlock have been confirmed as Toys R Us exclusive figures in the U.S.
Well, I knew Grimlock was coming.
Yeah. We talked last week about we knew that the UK release was happening, but it looks like we are also getting Prowl in the U.S. and Grimlock effectively a reissue in new packaging. So
I'm amazed.
Well, here's-
that they're-
So
I'm amazed they're doing
buy
the
them as
Prowl.
quickly as possible because Toys R Us is going to keep on raising the price until you can't buy them.
what diecast? What were you saying?
I was going to say, here's the interesting thing, too. That article from T-Formers actually says Grimlock is going to be showing up soon. So, I guess start checking now. I don't really know. And they said Prowl is going to be August.
I'm amazed they actually got Prowl. I can't believe Hasbro actually ponied up the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Did in any other line? Do they actually have they don't have any other vehicle toys, do they? Hasbro.
No.
So they specifically had to get licensing for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's going to be $70 in the U.S. It was actually probably
Wait! The price was announced for that?
$69.99.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Like Triplet was saying that he was going to wait for that to be released. No, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason to hesitate on pre-ordering the Masterpiece cars to import them, because if Toys R Us gets them, they're marking them up.
Yeah. Now, this is something I thought of, guys. I just want to get your opinion on it. Since Prowl is the first of the new Masterpieces coming out in the U.S., do you think Hasbro might stretch out the line a little bit by adding alternators into the mix?
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that would be a gateway for them to add molds that don't have MP toys. Since you could say some of the alternators are similar to the Masterpiece.
They're similar, but
nowhere.
I don't see them doing
Masterpiece toys are generally fun.
And since they're a Toys R Us exclusive, I really don't see a need for them to stretch out the line either.
The stretching out is being done by Takara, not releasing them like all at once. Anyway, so it's going to naturally. What it would do would be filling out the line more than stretching it out, I think. But no, I still don't see that happening. And thank God, because alternators kind of suck. But it would be kind of neat if we got maybe some of the KISS Players figures that we didn't get over here.
No. God, no.
Brian, say that again.
No, I'm not going to say that.
We
No.
recorded that, right?
No. Okay.
Brian, you remember what I showed you.
Yeah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Haunts your nightmares, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it really does. Moving to third-party news. So, let's see here. Toy World's Swamper. His name's Swamper. I like that. He's the NOT Skullcruncher figure.
He's also not a crocodile.
Yeah. That's true.
You asked for too much.
It looks okay.
The colors are nice.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Was it Toy Worlds or Fans Project that we were going to get repainted as the Alligator Con from City of Steel?
Fans Project.
That's the one I want then.
Yeah.
You know, I like this figure from the front, but when you see the feet at the angle, it's like he's wearing the same kind of platform shoes that Grimlock's going to get when you get Scoria. But these from the side, it doesn't look as good as from the front.
Oh, I see that, Don. I totally see what you mean by that. Yeah, that does look a little weird.
Yeah, from the front it looks good because it looks just like, you know, a foot and a leg, different color. But on the side, it's just weird.
Yeah, I think it's just the angle. It probably will look fine on your shelf when you get it.
It's the green and the pink are such a contrast that
I like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love the colors. It's just I kind of want that Alligator Con.
Oh God, yeah, me too. Yeah,
Fans Project is taking their sweet old time with that.
They got a lot of irons in the fire right now. I was hoping the next Toy World announcement would be the next Not Throttlebot.
Wait, I mean, those are still going on. Who's left?
We got 3 left.
Yeah, we've only gotten 3.
Chase,
we got Wide Load,
Roll Bar.
Oh no, wait.
Bumblebee.
Chase, Roll Bar, and Searchlight came out, right?
Okay.
No, those are those.
We got Roll Bar, Searchlight, and Trace.
Right.
Are the 3 we've got.
Right. So
so we need Goldbug.
Goldbug, Wide Load, and
Freeway.
Yeah, I could. Oh God. Okay, so Grind Rod. What were
Roll Bar?
Aurora,
Searchlight.
Chase.
Chase? Yeah, it's Searchlight, right?
Yeah, and Trace is Chase.
Yeah, Trace is Chase.
I'm guessing Wide Load will probably be the last one.
He's ugly. I mean,
I don't think it's just called Wide Load Fat Ass.
That would be right. Real. So how often do you see an orange and blue dump truck?
Or just call him Trunk Junk.
Trunk junk. That's awesome.
That'll be the combined mode name.
That's ridiculous. I can't believe that those are still coming out, or have yet to come out.
Yeah, but again, it's just fans projects. The headmasters are taking forever. The toy world, the not throttle bots are taking a while. It's just it seems the Predakings are taking over all the production slots.
But that's what we need. We need more third-party Predakings. Start cranking them bad boys out.
They look great. It's just the character's not that important enough for me to get an upgrade.
Eventually,
one of those Predakings we're gonna get at a really nice clearance price. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna get them all, put them in a room, and whoever survives, that shall be my Predaking.
So, next up,
Highlander. No, okay.
No, what? The Highlander.
I'll make a Predaking out of just different dive bombs.
That would be so weird. Okay. So we talked about Citizen Stack a couple weeks ago. And Keith from Keith's Fantasy Club basically put out a couple of potential prototype, well, actually, not teaser images, because it's actually full renders of what the toys will look like. 2 recolors of Citizen Stack that are possible. Of course, the one that I want is Power Convoy, because awesome. And the other is Shining Magnus.
Now remind me, Citizen Stack is their MP not Ultra Magnus?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm amazed they're actually going ahead with this.
It's going to be out long before Masterpiece Magnus is. I mean, it's already out.
Oh, and Ronnie, I brought this up last week. Citizen Stack, although he does not scale great with MP10, he does scale really well with MP01. And he does have his own. He does have his own set of charms on his own. So there.
But who wants MP01? I know people that are selling MP01s just for the chance of getting an MP10.
You can find it at Goodwill. So quick,
MP01.
He's okay.
You can just get a gold MP10. I mean, they're sitting on the shelves at Toys R Us.
They want a good version.
Get Pimpimus Prime.
Hey, Don. So guys, correct me. Was I wrong? Citizen Stack's already or close to being out, isn't it? People have their hands on him. Okay.
He's out.
That's what I thought.
That answers that question. I didn't realize he was out.
Yeah, some places are waiting on their second shipment.
So what do you guys think about the Shining Magnus or whatever they're going to call it?
It's P-Piss Magnus.
Yeah, I'd rather have the doc.
So if
that's your language, Don.
So if this isn't done in translucent plastic, it's just going to be wrong.
It's wrong already.
It's wrong already, but it needs to be translucent plastic.
Hey, in their defense, there's not a lot they thought they could do with this, so they just said, you know what, Ghost Magnus.
But yeah, Die Commander Stack looks awesome.
Yes.
I want it bad.
I will get that in a second.
I will get that color scheme when they release the Masterpiece.
If they release it.
I'm sure
they're not going to release that in Masterpiece colors. I really doubt they would release that in Masterpiece colors.
I have for years, and I've mentioned this on the show over and over again, kicked myself for not getting that reissue Diaclone Power Convoy that came out. I'm going to have to get this.
Yeah, I think with them doing, because I was still literally on the fence between Masterpiece Magnus and Citizen Stack. I like both for different reasons, but if they do go ahead with the Diaclone color version, that makes it a lot easier for me to have both, but still be different characters. So that helped make my decision. Definitely.
I just retweeted a tweet from Andrew Bowman, and it's really weird. It's you'll just, people at Twitter go to twitter.com/bkilby, and it's kind of freaked me out a little. Hey Andrew, I'm glad you're watching. Sorry, I had to mention that. But yeah, so I'm definitely getting Citizen Stacks, or not Citizen Stack, Die Commander Stack, and I'm gonna have to break that to my wife. So I'll do that here in a minute. So I had to mention this in the show because it's so damned weird. So apparently there is a KO Onslaught or something that's already out there. That's apparently available already. If I'm reading the story correctly. And guys,
it's
I'm
already
not
available?
Yeah, the Onslaught. It's a knockoff. It's a knockoff Onslaught that's available, like wherever knockoffs are sold. Like
Sam Goodies.
Like when I say knockoff, I mean knockoff in the classic sense that it's an unofficial stolen toy.
We're talking G1.
No, the Universe Onslaught.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Straight
Ultra.
up stole it.
Yeah. So that figure, it's a knockoff. That somehow, some way, I don't get this. They have decided to do a modification of that into Strika.
Ooh.
It's so weird, but I want it.
Looks good.
I want it. I really want it.
The mold does work as Strika.
It does.
Yeah.
That's actually amazing.
I mean,
maybe this is the way to go. Instead of, waiting for the Transformers Collectors Club to do, remold something and color it different, let's let the third parties do it. We'll probably get them a little bit cheaper than what Transformers Collectors Club charges.
I think Hasbro's a little more liable to take notice of this, though, than standard third-party stuff. Because this is straight up stealing the mold.
This happens all the time. I mean, go to, not so much anymore, but if you used to go to Big Lots and you would find like carded versions of like ultra scale Beast Wars figures. I mean, it was super common. I mean, still you go to like some low rent dollar stores and you'll find like Dollar Tree. The last time I paid attention, they had KO Cybertron figures. I mean, KO
Dollar still has Robot Masters knockoffs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They do. Like these knockoffs have been a cornerstone, really, of my collecting for years.
It's only been around since G1 with Shockwave.
Well, yeah, Shockwave was. I think there was a licensing thing with that toy that made it technically not a knockoff. But
technicalities.
It wasn't common. It was. I think at one point there were knockoff GoBots on the shelf, on the same shelves as the actual GoBots. If I remember correctly, because I remember as a kid buying knockoff GoBots that I thought were legitimate, genuine GoBots.
I can see why.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that we have this figure that I legitimizing it by calling it third party is not, because I'm not saying third party is legitimate, but the fact that a KO figure has been modified into another
Something
figure,
cool.
Yeah, blows my mind.
It's like a knockoff modification.
It's so weird.
It's a 2.5 party figure.
Yeah, it's just it's like a second and a half figure, party figure, or fourth
we could
party.
call them the League of Transformers Collectors Club that won't steal your credit card.
No. What it is?
Don't make promises they can't keep now.
What it is? It's third party collectors club.
Yeah.
So it's like Collectors Club, but it's unofficial. It's unofficial Collectors Club figures.
It's like a mass-produced custom.
Yeah, it's so,
that's great. Third party collectors club.
It's so weird, and I don't know. It's just mind twist. It's just mind boggling. It's just so odd. But I want it.
And the last line says they're also working on using the Energon bulkhead for Obsidian.
That's not as good an idea.
No.
But with this one, the Strika was just the first mold they were planning on doing. There were 3 or 4 other ideas they had for the same mold too, like a Grimlock.
Has anyone actually seen this knockoff anywhere? The Onslaught? I haven't.
No.
I'll be scouring the Big Lots here soon.
I think Big Lots got in trouble with Hasbro years ago from carrying all the knockoffs, which is the reason they cut it out. Because Hasbro basically said they wouldn't sell, if I remember correctly, Hasbro said they wouldn't sell them actual Transformers to sell if they didn't stop that stuff.
I think they would have been better off if they just kept the knockoffs, because the
For
only
real?
actual Transformers they sell is $9 armor hides and backstops.
And Legends Bumblebee with Helipack for 10 that you can now find back in the stores.
And they're $12 Robot Hero 2-packs.
I do want to point out. It's not so much with the Transformers, but with G.I. Joe and everything else, at least. Like, all of the figures that Hasbro puts out specifically for, like, Family Dollar and Dollar General, they all feel like knockoffs.
Well, because all Joes are knockoffs.
That's not true. But, like, you find, like, a Dollar General Spider-Man, which they charge $6 for. It's, like, all rubbery and nasty. Don't know why. Anything else before we take a break?
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
Just to double check, Cosmos and Swerve, was that found last week at retail in the U.S. or was that?
It was found. I thought it was found in Canada. Was it found in the U.S. as well?
Yes, it was. It was found in Washington State.
Holy crap!
Anyone finds a Swerve, grab me one. That's all I'm saying.
Big Bad Toy Store still didn't get those in, and they were saying I think they were scheduled for late April.
Let me check my BBTS pre-order, and I will tell you.
I went to Target today to go hunting, and I was all excited because I saw they had filled the pegs. And then I realized it was full of Optimus and Bumblebees. Which means they'll never show up at this Target.
Right now it's saying May 2014.
Okay.
They still ain't filled the pegs at the 2 Targets I go to, so...
That means you still have a chance.
I keep hoping that I'll find some Age of Extinction stuff at Walmart, like Rob Springer did, but nope.
Oh, someone actually found stuff.
He found the flip changer Grimlock. Yeah.
I heard that thing sucks.
He loves it.
Oh.
Well, yeah, we pretty much try to keep that from happening just because street dates and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you hate the fans, we understand.
But Don has them all already in his apartment. He just can't show us.
Right,
I think what happened with them is Hasbro actually shipped them with no date on the box. Like, usually they put a big sticker on it saying, do not put on the shelf till this date. And I don't think Hasbro did that. So I think it's their fault.
It's possible. It's possible.
Because there's not that many. If it happened at one store, okay, someone was a little, when they put the stuff out. But with the amount of stores that it's been happening at, it can't be, the employee's fault.
It's true.
Unless they all work together in some odd protest against Walmart.
True. Okay, let's go ahead and take a break. And
hold on.
What?
Let me do one thing. Go to Needless Essentials. Go to Needless Essentials online. Get your votes in. Let your voice be heard. Top 15 Transformers.
Okay. We got that.
You said you're to remind you.
At the end of the show.
It's at the end of the show.
No, it's not. We'll be back after this.
You boys a bit bored? Snap into it! Snap into a Slim Jim!
Hey guys, it's Rob, and this week's question comes from my good friend Scott. Scott goes on to ask, what one toy release, be it third party or mainline, are you looking forward to the most this year? Your buddy, Scott. Well, Scott, first off, high five. Yeah. Second of off. I don't even know. Sometimes I don't know what's going on with me in the English language. It's not particularly one toy. It's a bunch, and that would be all the new Dinobots coming out. I'm a huge Dinobot fan. I always really liked the Dinobots, but I always loved it when they do things like new members to teams. For example, my favorite version of the Dinobots is the Beast Machines one. And you know what? It's pretty much toy only. Their only fiction was like a couple of front panels and convention comics, like I do it, but I love them. And also, being a big Beast Wars guy, all these beastie guys coming out kind of gives me that same momentum of, oh, look at this one, oh, look at that one, and also, it's no secret I'm a huge Creo fan. There's a lot of Creo stuff coming out. I like to construct bots. I know a lot of people don't. Really, a lot of people don't. They seem to sit on shelves. But there's a lot of those. I mean, it's like Dinobot mania for a while, and I'm pretty happy about that. I love the Dinobots. A lot of people are kind of complaining about the rainbow colors or whatever. Well, I don't like all my toys to be one color, so I'm pretty excited for like a purple slug and that red snarl guy, or what's his name? I'm sorry, Slash. Yeah, it looks cool. And I know they're gonna get released in all sorts of wild colors, so I'm pretty excited. And on Easter, I was at my brother's eating dinner, and we needed some like paper plates or something. So I went to the Walmart near his house, and I got the flip change Grimlock. I got the children's toy. Toys. Yeah, got it. I got the flip and change, the one-step guys intended for the small children, that everyone's like, ooh, stand the thing. Blah, blah, blah. These are people who aren't very good at paying attention to anything, because they're like, they make a children's toy for the past movies. Well, it's just little kid stuff. They put a marketing presence for this movie. First thing, these people need to go outside. And you know what? This is a very children's toy. But you know what? It's also Grimlock, and it's a Dinobot, and I really like Dinobots, so I bought it. And you know what? I can't figure out how to get this thing to flip right. Flip, you son of a bitch. Close your head. The flip thing doesn't work as good as it's supposed to. Well, I got him to transform back. Let's see. Did you do it this time? Yeah! Roar. Even for a child's toy, I'm pretty sure, I gotta admit, that's kind of fun. It's this big clunky thing. He's like, gong, 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 with these weird chicken legs. You ever see like someone's got a, they say it's a Chihuahua, but they got sold like a mixed breed, and it's got those giant long legs. That's what it kind of looks like some weird, awkward, trailer park Chihuahua legs. But I gotta admit, this is kind of, that's the wrong way. Hit myself in the face with Grimlock. You can move his elbows. That alone is why somebody will say it's the worst thing ever. You can only move its elbows. It's not super articulated. Well, it's a child's toy. I am a 36-year-old man. I just had a whole lot of fun with a toy intended for a toddler. But you know what? I had a lot of fun with a toy. I feel good now, actually. That was a whole lot of fun. I just had a toy meant for a much smaller child. Man, that was kind of fun. I'm going to do that again later when I get done making these videos. Although I was kind of worried I was going to beat my own face in. I'm going to put him back in this box. He's not going on a shelf. It's a very it's a very silly toy. But see, I love these. I love Dinobots. I love beastie type figures. My cat's being a butthole. But that's it. The wind is opening and closing a door. But that's just it. I love the beast stuff and stuff like that. And new Dinobots you got me. So what am I looking for? I'm going to be buying a whole bunch of dinosaur robots this year. And that's it. Well, guys, please check out Scott's podcast, Good Morning Cybertron. They do a great job. It's a good, fun show. And, check them out for your health. And while you're checking things out, check out my blog, roboropspringer.tumblr.com. Also for your health. And please, if you got any more questions, send them to rob@tfradio.net. Or you can just go to tfradio.net, click out it. There's a million ways to contact us. Social media, whatever. Send me a question that way. And while you're at it, check out our shows and showtimes. And while you're also at it, have a nice week. Thanks for watching. Bye.
It's now time for Comic News with Amy Morgan.
Okay, it's been a couple weeks since I've done one of the Transformers Comics news spots, so I'm a little rusty after being out of practice for a couple weeks, but fast approaching is Free Comic Book Day, in which It's usually the first Saturday of every May. So this year, I think it falls on May 3rd. This year, the first issue of the Barbara Scully G.I. Joe Transformers crossover, which happens to be an ongoing, will be offered as a free comic book day issue. Not all comic book shops participate in the free comic book day. So if you have one near you, please call beforehand, ask questions, and inform yourself on which comics will be free, because participating shops may put limits on how many free comic books you can have. So if you're going to participate this year, get involved. Call around. Be prepared. There have been lots of Windblade interviews over the last few weeks, so please check around online. Check tformers.com. I stopped reporting some of the interviews because it was a little redundant, because some of them, every single one of them kind of revealed something a little bit new. So if you wanted to follow all of those, you definitely can. Or, you know what? Be surprised. Either way, there was also one on the Barbara Scully crossover as well, but since I haven't been doing the news spot videos, I haven't really been keeping up on them very well. So that will change. I've just been incredibly busy. But if you want to keep up to date, the best, easiest way to do is to check the T-Formers website. You can always, and their Twitter. But you can also follow me on Twitter as well, because I tweet things out when I see them. Sometimes I just don't have enough time to come back and recall and put it all out there or whatnot and put together a video. It just takes time. Yeah. And I have 2 little kids out. Anyhow. But yes, there have been lots of interviews. So check that out online to find out. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's great. You can follow me as LadyWreck, and I will, of course, have all those links in the video. The good side of being on Twitter is that you'll find out what happens, like, as it happens. Like Newsarama previews that happened just 2 or 3 weeks ago. Robots in Disguise and More Than Meets the Eye and Windblade all had early previews. It was really awesome. And, 3 pages, like 2 or 3 weeks before it actually comes out. It's great. So, yeah, that happens on Twitter. So, check it out. And while we're talking about comics coming out this year, or coming out this month, another series got announced at WonderCon 2014, a third of a trilogy, Primacy, the last digital in the Autocracy Monstrosity series by Livio Ramondelli and Chris Metzen and Flint Dille. Now, Primacy will be coming out in August of 2014. This week, there was a live IDW panel on YouTube where John Barber, James Roberts, and Margaret Scott took questions. It was fantastic. You can get this awesome video archived. It's online on YouTube. I believe that the links are at tformers.com and the Facebook page and their Twitter as well. But I'll also provide links in the show, or in the video as well. So, and before I wrap up this bad boy video, promo images have been teased each week for the kickoff of Season 2 of Robots in Disguise and More Than Meets the Eye, and for Windblade as well. There are 6 for Windblade, there were 6 for Robots in Disguise, and next week there will be 6 for More Than Meets the Eye, so around Monday during California afternoon time-ish. So if you want to join in, you can find these fun images just like everybody else. Get online, and that's pretty much the news. So I'll catch you later. Bye!
Warning. The following segment may contain spoilers for the most recent Transformers comic books. Okay, so, we missed last week's comic book day, so we got a double issue thing again. We do that a lot lately, but, scheduling.
Yeah.
So we got issue 28 of both Robots in Disguise and More Than Meets the Eye. In that order.
Mm-hmm. And as usual, More Than Meets the Eye wins, but I don't think that really, surprises anyone.
I think the only real surprise, if you can call it that, is just how much More Than Meets the Eye won by.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you had the same exact feeling about it, but I thought Robots in Disguise 28 was kind of on the unusually weak side.
Yeah, it's a little bit disjointed, which is a problem that More Than Meets the Eye shares, because we're having to flash back to how we got here, since we've done a 6-month time skip. And also, I'm trying to give Optimus Prime leading a team of Autobots on Earth against the Decepticons the benefit of the doubt, but it just, after making me like the political situation between a bunch of robots, it is such a downgrade.
Yeah, in thinking about this a little bit, since Galvatron appears to be the new Decepticon leader on Earth, it would have been excellent if they had put Rodimus in charge of the Autobot team going to Earth.
Actually, yes. Especially...
And made Robots in Disguise the comic book equivalent of Cartoon Season 3.
Yeah. Which, since, the human is Marissa Fairborn, we're halfway there.
Yeah.
But
Optimus Prime, movie year, Hasbro.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, Grimlock will be showing back up at some point in More Than Meets the Eye. Big shock there.
Right. Well, we've only been waiting for that to happen for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Since the last time he showed up.
Yeah.
Prominently. Mm-hmm. He did show up a little bit at the end of Remain in Light, or End-ish. But that was more of a cameo like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, basically all that happens in this issue is the Autobots go to Earth.
Yes, and find out that people don't like them there, which they kind of guessed to begin with.
Yeah, so the first thing we see is basically them getting shot down. Mm-hmm. Or near enough to it. Yeah. In what we'll call bad idea.
Yes.
But it's okay, because Optimus Prime has a better idea.
Skylings.
And I gotta say, this full-page title bit, fairly metal.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
That would have been a stronger thing to lead with than rather arc whatever number.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. It doesn't really make that much of a difference anyway.
Yeah, I've been thinking between the two of these that we really should have just had like a one-shot published either this month or next month to deal with all the backstory stuff, Pretty much you could lead with the death of Megatron in much the same way that More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise were led into by the death of Optimus Prime.
That would have been an interesting parallel, really.
Yeah.
Especially since the alternate cover to More Than Meets the Eye was basically just a play on the first alternate cover to More Than Meets the Eye. Or was that the main cover? The first issue's cover, though, with the group shot that was inspired by one of the Justice League covers.
Yeah.
Which they kind of did again. Tribute to a tribute to something.
Mm-hmm.
Even the signature on there basically lays that out.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, comics are nothing if not recursive.
But still, I mean, it's a nice nod. I kind of like the continuity and concept. But yeah, I mean, that's not really a terrible idea, especially as More Than Meets the Eye goes, which we'll get into in a couple of minutes, but that would have probably been helped a lot by not having so much flashback going on.
Yeah.
Robots in Disguise is basically the backstory book. Everything that's going on is related to something from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And explaining how that relationship works.
Yeah.
That's been the case for most of the book's lifetime.
Well, yeah.
That part doesn't really seem so out of field. What really gets me more is just how little actually happens in the book.
Mm-hmm. I mean, besides the flashback to 6 months ago, we get a flashback to things that we already knew happened a long time ago, which, at least we get that really nice panel of Metroplex leaving Cybertron. Again, Andrew Griffith knows scale. He does scale very well. But, just the pacing is really kind of wonky here so far.
I look at that Metroplex panel and the Nadesco taking off background music. You ever watch Nadesco?
A long time ago. I kind of checked out after like the first 3 episodes.
I may have also, but the music I'm thinking of was in the first episode, so that works out just fine.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. I mean, he gets the scale right. It feels like a ship or equivalent structure leaving, and I mean, it works. We had this discussion before during Dark Cybertron, too, when you had the end of the one issue drawn by Attilio Rojo, where it basically reminded me of the cartoon's sense of scale.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one, Andrew Griffith came back and actually drew a Titan fight the way you want to see it.
Yeah.
And this is basically just continuation of that. He knows how to make big things be big.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm really underwhelmed by Robots in Disguise 28.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the 29 will be better. In the big press conference thing a couple of weeks back, Andrew Griffith said that there's a Prowl moment at the end of 29 that he loves, and is just very, very Prowl, as in the real character, and not, Bombshell Prowl.
But I like Bombshell Prowl better.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing.
I wonder if when Barber was writing this, if he expected that to be the case, that people would kind of latch on to Bombshell Prowl as being, Prowl, and be disappointed when it wasn't him.
Well, another thing he said in that was, when you've been controlled by someone who wants to destroy everything, and none of your friends notice, it does make you think.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to play out. I am happy to see Prowl and RC, still in the book, because they pretty much strike me at the to date as Barber's trademark characters, and that's going to be it's good to have them around.
The other thing that amused me too was right at the start when they were switching over to Skylinks for the drop to Earth, and Optimus basically made a point of leaving everyone Prowl brought with behind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
Prowl basically has a no confidence vote here.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess somebody told him about Overlord.
Or the whole Constructicon thing, or 6 months of Bombshell and nobody really noticing.
Mm-hmm.
That might stop and make you think a little.
Little bit, yeah.
If we could just get more stuff like that, more of these Prowl moments, even the subtle ones.
Yeah.
I think we can build something that'll be entertaining here, despite any setting, but...
Yeah.
Also, the Decepticons emerging at the end of the issue was almost a complete non-event.
Yeah, that was pretty damn obvious.
As noted by us not even bringing it up until now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're moving right on to more than meets the eye.
Yes, which compared to Robots in Disguise, it may have, a few pacing problems caused by much the same flashbacks, but otherwise hit the ground running.
Yeah, see, that's the difference, which when I wrote the T-Formers review, I kind of hung around this point for a bit. More Than Meets the Eye doesn't really do any more storytelling, but it fills all that space in between the plot points with the characters.
Yes.
Such as, if you'll recall, when Rodimus and Optimus are talking about Rodimus going back on his quest, the epic facepalm.
Yes.
I mean, it's so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Rodimus isn't leading the team on Earth.
Yes.
But, I mean, you get that the whole time. Swerve's Cruditions.
Yes.
Which, of course, Nightbeat comes and spoils, but you get several panels of very excellent James Roberts character writing filling up that time.
Yes.
But, I mean, even though it's making better use of the pages it's stretching the story into, it's still kind of stretching the story, and all this jumping around is making it hard to follow a little bit, I think.
Yeah. I believe you said in the review that is, much fun as the Cruditions are, they probably could have been left out and to give the story a little bit more focus.
Mm-hmm. I mean, put it off till next issue, even.
Yeah.
I still want it to happen, but I think it's crowding things too much here.
Yeah.
For the same thing, too, the build-up to Megatron's trial, which I think probably should have been the actual focus of the issue.
Yeah.
Hang the book around more in the 6 months ago, plus however much forward time frame, and have just the present be more framing than it was. There was a little too much going on in both places. You didn't get a lot of either, and it was hard to keep up with what was actually supposed to be important to me.
Yeah. Again, I think just shunting the Megatron's trial off to be its own, standalone issue would have been ideal.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it. I think they probably could have gotten most of the important part of it out and done with just in this issue, and delay a few other things till 29, and it probably would not have screwed anything up badly.
Yes.
Obviously, if there's important parts of the trial that inform the next issue's story, you know, spacing it out more works for that, but it didn't leave this issue very clear, I guess.
Yeah.
There's also, I mean, you got your payoff just in this first issue of More Than Meets the Eye's return with Whirl and Megatron having their confrontation.
Yes, and you know, you have to give Megatron credit for figuring out the worst possible thing you could do to Whirl.
Yeah.
Every fight you have won since the war started doesn't count.
Probably even the thing with where he killed Killmaster.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
But it's another thing of how it's kind of hard to read because that fight scene being bathed in the dark red and just the tight panels and everything being kind of jumbled up. I mean, there's a lot put in that page space, and it was really hard to follow a lot of the intermediate actions.
Yeah.
And because of the coloring, you couldn't even really tell immediately Whirl's arm was gone.
Yeah, I was having that problem too.
You know, it looks a lot like the page may have been at least partly colored in the standard coloring, like the flats at least, and then the red was overlaid on top at the shading stage.
Yeah.
Because if you look really close, you can see on Whirl, what should be Whirl's stump, the purple energon starting to drip out of the wound.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost completely lost into the dark red that's there too.
Yeah.
And it seems like if it was colored in red to start with, it would have not worked out that way because they blend too much. That's kind of my point here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the coloring process was like on this. I'd kind of like to find out how the coloring worked for that scene just because of the way it looks, but you know, just overall, that fight scene did not work as well as I think they wanted it to.
Yeah, and, you know, it's a shame because I'm trying to figure out a way to put this that doesn't sound wrong because, of course, we really like the colors for More Than Meets the Eye in general. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I don't think most colorists would want to put up an Anatomy of a Failure article on a particular scene.
No, and I'm not looking at it in that context. It's more just I want to see the process of coloring that scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more like you can want to see it behind the scenes too without wanting it to be a dissection of what you think went wrong.
Yeah,
it's basically how I'm taking it.
Yeah, like I said, I knew that I was not able to find the way to quite put it right, but you know, I would like to see like a step-by-step look at that too, just to see how it was done.
Yeah,
because it would explain a lot of things, I think.
Although on the flip side, we have the really nice 2-page spread of Megatron being marched to trial.
Yes.
Which, that was really nice. It's nice to see Broadside back, since the last time he appeared, he was under Devastator's fist.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, a year and a half ago. Give or take.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to see more of the trial stuff next issue, and some of the stuff like who Megatron's final call was to.
Yeah.
Which seems kind of important.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we finally also get payoff on one of the things from the first issue. The message from the future, one of the warnings from which was, don't open the coffin.
Which they're about to do.
Yeah. So it's funny that we spend a bit of time talking about the coloring on this issue, since, as it turns out, 28 is Josh Burcham's last issue doing interiors for More Than Meets the Eye.
And it's a shame.
It is, but he's being replaced by Joanna LaFuente, and she's a very good colorist. Her style is a little bit different, of course. Mm-hmm. We've seen the 3-page preview from 29, which probably means that'll be out on the 14th, maybe as early as.
Oh, here's hoping.
And the only thing I can really say about that is those corridors look entirely too warm and inviting.
Yeah.
You know, the coloring that we've had the whole time through, there's been that kind of harsh, sterile quality of fluorescent lighting to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this in my written review before, knowing he wasn't going to be doing colors after this, which I found kind of an odd coincidence. But I mean, that kind of lighting kind of helps make what More Than Meets the Eye is. It is the environment of the Lost Light.
Yeah.
And it's going to take some getting used to get the warmer colors, the warmer, richer colors. I think I'm going to start reconciling it in my head with Megatron insisting all the fluorescent fixtures in the ship be replaced with incandescent bulbs.
Which somehow I can just see him doing, too.
It's the only thing that makes sense for why everything's suddenly in a different color set.
Yes. Well, at least, you know, everyone is not, you know, a hyper-detailed Guyver monster all of a sudden again, so...
Or, you know, inexplicably, inappropriately round.
Yes.
Since we've seen examples of both.
Mm-hmm. Still wouldn't mind getting Matt Frank back, though.
You can hear our show on Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher allows you to listen to your favorite shows directly from your iPhone, Android phone, BlackBerry, or Palm phones. On demand and on the go. Don't have Stitcher? Download it for free today at Stitcher.com or in the app stores. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio. Radio Free Cybertron is teamed up with Kokomo Toys and Collectibles in Kokomo, Indiana. If you're in the Kokomo area, visit our store for a huge selection of new and classic toys. Visit online at www.kokomotoys.com for our address and store hours. While you're there, check out our listing of pre-order items, as well as visit our eBay store. Visit us at www.kokomotoys.com. That's KOKOMOTOYS.com. We're also on Facebook.
So we are back. Thank you, Rob, and or ExVee and Rob. I have no idea if comics actually played or not. So
that More Than Meets the Eye issue was insane.
I can't wait to read it. I was able to, thanks to that Comixology sale, I was able to catch up. Not catch up, but buy all of Dark Energon, the pieces that I've missed so far, for like cheap. And after Amazon bought Comixology and gave me that $5, I got like 20 issues for $15.
Wait,
pretty great. I have to admit, pretty great. So one thing I want to mention on the show, and I keep wanting to mention this, and I forget like every other week, to help spread podcast love. And I love podcasts, I really do. I look at my phone, I use Dog Catcher on Amazon and Stitcher, on Android, as well as Stitcher, depending on whether or not the show is on Stitcher, to listen. And a podcast that I listen to is the Jim Cornette Experience.
Oh!
I've been trying to get back into wrestling, and not that the Jim Cornette Experience podcast is specifically about wrestling.
No, even if you don't like wrestling, I highly recommend it too, because Jim Cornette is a insane, funny man.
He's hilarious, and you can find it at MLW Radio. Just Google it, Jim Cornette Experience or MLW Radio. It's really fun. It's a great listen. Even if you don't like wrestling, it's a fun show. And if you have a show or if you know of a show that you think I'd like, and I'd like to mention on RFC, just, the way to reach me, at BKilby or at TF Radio or at facebook.com/TF Radio or contact at tfradio.net. There's lots of ways. Let me know. I'm always looking for new podcasts, though the new episode of Hardcore History came out, and it's like nearly 4 hours long, and I'm only a third of the way through, so I'll be listening to that for the next couple days. But pretty excited. So, but yeah. If I forget, let me guys remind me that each week, because I keep forgetting to do this. And podcasting is such a big part of my life, and I know it's the same way for a lot of people out there, and I do want to help spread the podcast love. Speaking of, Bob, you're on a couple of podcasts.
I am.
Tell us about those.
Well, I host Nebulon Pirate Radio. We're a monthly-based toy podcast.
Monthly-ish.
Monthly-ish. It's amazing how hard it is to get 6 random guys together in one room when life gets in the way. And that sounded a lot worse than I meant it to.
It sounded pretty amazing to me, personally.
Do you record that at Dave's apartment?
I do. Yeah, we record that in Dave's apartment.
I got to see the setup, and that because I was at his place a weekend or two ago, and it's a nice setup. I really like it. If I ever get the chance, I would totally be willing to go down there and help out. So
we totally want you to come down there.
That was pretty awesome. I really like that. Nice little mixer. Good mics. That's a better setup than I told him the 99% of people who podcast have.
Well, thank you.
Pretty sweet.
Thank you. I also host the weekly-ish, a lot of ishes, but no, the weekly Turtle Air podcast. Every week me, Dave, and 2 other guys get together. We just talk turtles. That's more of a Skype issue though on this one. That's why we can make it weekly and not randomly monthly. But yeah. You like turtles? Come take a listen, man.
That's at tmntpodcast.com.
Sit back and let the turtle love flow all over you.
Mickey, you're on Superhero Time each week.
Yep. For the time being.
For time being.
For as long as you'll have us on the air.
Yes. Well, I don't listen, so...
That's for the best.
That's for the best.
I'm going to ask you, what does Superhero Time cover?
Tokusatsu, and Pokemon, and Star Trek, and drinking, prostitutes,
fart jokes.
You know, just sort of the whole spectrum there.
Where do I sign up? I want to be on this.
You really don't.
I heard Star Trek, prostitutes, and drinking. I'm in.
Yeah, I think ExVee actually. You know, it's Superhero Time. Not to talk too much inside baseball. Superhero Time is it hasn't passed RFC in listeners, but it's a very popular show, and I think ExVee probably has a line of people who want to be on. I know he has a line of people who want to be on, so...
Bless their hearts. They don't know any better.
You'd probably have to take a number.
301?
Yeah, now serving number 15, so...
Where's that head shrinker guy?
Superhero Time is a fun show. I don't get any of it, but when I do listen...
We don't either.
I do enjoy hearing it.
It is
Hello,
not
Brian is the greatest shill man of all time.
Yes, I try to be. And Don, you are now on the competition. I'm kidding.
Traitor.
You betrayed the family. You broke my heart, Don.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being over there as often as I can. Trying to just help out where possible.
And that's at TF Talk, TALK, TFTalk.net.
And besides, doesn't the world need more of this? Really?
Pretty much. That's why we have you on each week, Don, because we love you. The world loves Don. The whole world.
I thought it was a part of your court sentence.
The court of being so awesome that one podcast can't contain me.
Well, he has that ankle bracelet on, so he can only go to work or
I
stay
know
in the
somebody.
house.
That's massacre around my foot.
I know somebody in the Transformers fandom who has one of those. I can't name their name, but you have heard of them. Okay, that's all I can say. Okay, so hey guys, anything else? Diecast, you're on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter at Diecast2, and you can follow me, and hopefully we'll have some exciting stuff going on within the next, I don't know, 6 months.
Yeah, well,
and Diecast will be taking on Ricky Steamboat at the Subway.
Yes.
We were talking before the show about wrestling, and most people don't know, Diecast actually was a wrestler. Like a professional wrestler. He learned under, Stevie Richards?
Yeah, Stevie Richards.
At his school, so he actually is a wrestler, like, legit. But he hasn't done it in years.
Probably about 9 years, 10 years.
Did you have a finishing move?
Yeah, it was kind of similar to,
It was similar to God?
No.
What does God need with the finishing move?
He was a Lucha Libre. It was like a combination of Lucha Libre and, I'm only 5'6", so, and I was a lot skinnier back then, so I was kind of like a mix between Triple H and Lucha Libre wrestling.
Okay.
Rey Mysterio, that's who you were.
Rey Mysterio, yeah. It was kind of a mix between him and I forget the other guy we were even basing it off of. But basically, I jumped back and forth on the ropes and then jumped off the center rope and did like a flip in the air and landed on the guy.
Did you have entrance music?
I did not have entrance music.
That you are
they
willing
had
to tell us.
generic entrance music when I actually was, at a show.
You should have just come out to like this old man.
The things you learn. Okay, so I guess that's going to do it for... And Bob, tell us one more time.
Oh, yes. Go to needlessessentialsonline.com. Or go to the RFC Facebook page and click on the link. Give me your top 15 favorite, best of Transformers of the past 30 years.
Yep. I will be doing that this evening.
Sweetness. And then come back then come back May 20th to find out who's in the top 10. Who's in the top 50? Did yours make the cut?
Probably. Mine's really generic. Okay.
It's the past 30, so you can do like MP10.
Yeah, Masterpiece, anything.
Sweet. Okay.
Just not third party.
Not third party. So
I can't go on
Diaclones.
and make a list of third party stuff.
Yeah, these don't count. Okay, so thank you guys for being on this week. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
So for the guys, I'm your host, Brian Kilby. We love you. Hey, Mickey.
You're so fun.
We'll see you later.
You're so fun. You blew my mind.
Have a good one. Bye.
This has been Radio Free Cybertron. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live. Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment? Leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons license. Any part of this podcast can and should be redistributed, but please, proper attribution is required if you know what's good for you. Radio Free Cybertron, the original Transformers internet radio show since 1999. 100% girlfriend free since 1999.